Overnight, the possibility of some thunderstorms. Some of them could have some hail. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Brad Sugden for News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents Nebraska's #1 independent computer repair company with offices in Omaha and Lincoln. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. Ways you can connect with the program today. First, 866-496-8772, 866-496-8772. That's how you can call in and be a part of the program. Of course, as we do every week, one lucky caller is going to be drawn to win a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, good for anything your heart desires over at the service center. You can use it. It's the first of the month. A lot of you just got endpoint phone calls. The robocalls went out. So if you got a robocall for you missed call, let's say, from Schrock Innovations, that was what that was, telling you, hey, your endpoint is expiring or your warranty on your computer is expiring. I want to talk a little bit about this today because the warranty thing confuses some people. And it's kind of a spammy sounding phone call. It's a robocall where it's me and I say, hey, give us a call back at Schrock Innovations. We might owe you money. And it's like, come on, but actually we might. So please call back so we can double check and see if we owe you money or not. But anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about that on the show today as well. Also, you can engage with the program on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Now, some listeners have said to me, Thor, I'd love to be able to watch the show online, but I don't do Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook account, and that's perfectly okay because you don't have to have a Facebook account to go to facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, and you can watch because it doesn't matter. As was revealed last week, Facebook is tracking your silly biscuit anyway all over the internet with those little like buttons on all the web pages you've ever been to. So, yep, it doesn't matter. You're tracked. You're tagged like a little bunny rabbit. And you're being followed all around the yard. Anyone else seeing bunnies lately? I don't know what happened, but my yard is like literally, it's like a bunny farm. I come in the backyard and it's like, poof, they scatter. And I'm just like, why are bunnies afraid of me? Wildlife usually goes toward good people, right? And all the wildlife is running away from me. What does that say? I'm not sure. All right, 866-496-8772. On Facebook, good morning, Robert. Good morning, Bill. Coffee's on. Thank you. I'm good for now, but I'll let you know when I'm ready for a refill. All right, so fun times today, this week in the service center. For those of you who have Dell computers, especially desktops and all-in-ones, and some HP users as well, you may have realized that your computer's keyboard and mouse stopped working after the last Windows update was installed. Some of you have not experienced this joy yet because your computer has not automatically rebooted since the last time your Windows updates were downloaded on the second Tuesday of last month. Usually it'll give you about 14 days before it forces you to reboot, so you're going to get rebooted here soon. And when that happens, if you have a Dell or some HPs, there's a good chance you're going to lose the functionality of your keyboard and mouse. Ironically enough, if you have an ancient old keyboard and mouse that has a round plug, it'll work just fine. If you have like a normal keyboard and mouse like everybody else, that's going to have a little USB port, and those USB ports are going to stop working. This is a known issue with this update. There's a couple different ways we solve it in the service center. I went into it a little bit last week on the show, but I wanted to go back into it. We had some people come in, and literally it's kind of funny. People bring the computer, and it's usually a husband or a wife coming in, and they got this look about them. And they're like, and you're like, well, what's going on? And they're like, oh, the keyboard and mouse, and you just finished their sentence. It doesn't work after the last Windows update. And they say, exactly. And then they say, so it wasn't something I did? And we say, oh, no, not at all. This is something that's going on that it's happening to lots of people because of the Windows update. And they're like, oh, thank God, because my husband or my wife was telling me it was something I did, and they didn't have the time to fix my mistake and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, no. It was nothing that you did. It was a Windows update that's causing the issue. So it hit us pretty hard last week in the service centers. We had a lot of computers in with that particular problem. It's starting to taper off this week because as more and more people, they got the update quickly and they rebooted. The people who don't reboot your computers, computers that don't get rebooted as often can actually be a little bit more stable than computers that get restarted regularly in some circumstances. That doesn't mean you should never reboot your computer. It just means that modern computers are intended to be powered on all the time. They're not intended to be turned off when they're not in use. Is it harder on the computer to turn it off? Not necessarily. However, one thing I'll point out is your computer is designed to do a whole bunch of really annoying activities while it's powered on and you're not using it. For example, disk maintenance. If you still have a mechanical hard drive in your computer, disk maintenance, defragging basically, happens when you're not using the computer, when it detects that the computer's hard drive is idle. Your antivirus scans, if you have a decent piece of antivirus, not Viper or something like that. Oh, that Viper stuff. But Thor, I have a lifetime license. I paid $50 for it. It's good for life. I don't want to get rid of it. All right, let me sit you down. Let's gather around the Schrock Innovations campfire and let Grandpa Thor tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a company that said, for $50, we'll protect you forever. And then the company went out of business because you can't protect people forever for $50, especially when the lifetime license is not tied to the quote-unquote lifetime of the computer, but it's tied to your lifetime. Now, I don't know about you, but I intend to be around for a little while. You're going to tie something to my lifetime? That's like when you go to get a new suit and they say free tailoring for life. They don't mean your life. They mean the life of the suit. If you put on 77 pounds, they cannot tailor that suit to fit you. That suit is dead, Jim. Bury it. Oh, no pun intended. 866-496-8772. Those are the numbers to join us on the program. All right, and welcome aboard to the lovely Kimberly, folks. She is back by popular demand on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Those of you who would rather talk with her than me, you can do it. You can do so right there. Again, I know there's some of you out there that want to do that. All righty. So, also, we have not had an after Schrock for the past few shows because for whatever reason, Facebook magically ends, and I've tried everything. It just magically ends our broadcast at an hour. I don't know if that's like a hard limit that they've imposed recently, like broadcast shouldn't last more than an hour, or what the deal is. But what I'm going to do at the end, the conclusion of this show, is the live stream will end, but then I'm going to start a new live stream, okay? And the new live stream is going to be the Aftershock. And I have some interesting stories to tell you in the Aftershock this week. Stuff that doesn't quite fit in the show, but is still interesting. Like, for example, what do we do when we have a customer that comes in, demands a full refund for services that were rendered, and then when you say, not so much, and you try to compromise a little bit? Look at all the love for the lovely Kimberly. My goodness. I don't get smiley faces like that going across my screen. Sorry, Facebook distraction. What happens when that customer says, so you're telling me that the 3 bad reviews I'm going to leave for you aren't going to influence your decision at all? Yeah, we're going to tell you how we handled that one on the Aftershock today. So we got some interesting stuff going on. So basically, in the service centers, if your computers are losing their USB stuff, things like that are happening, now is the time to bring that in so we can get it taken care of. When it gets warm like this out, we see a little bit of a drop in business. People get out from behind their computers, and so if their computers are broken, they tend to not notice they're broken. Or if their computers are broken, they have better things to do than to bring them into the shop because it's nice outside. So now is a great time to come into the service center. I know our Omaha service center right now has outstanding turnaround time. They're at about 50% bench capacity, which means half their bench is empty, which means you go right up on the bench and get done. The Papillion Service Center is at about 75% capacity. Again, great turnaround times there. And also the Lincoln Service Center is right at capacity, so the turnaround times there are great as well because they're usually in queue, which means they have a line of people waiting to go on the bench. So they're right at 100% right now. So all 3 service centers, great turnaround times at Schrock Innovations for your computer repairs, laptop, desktop, all in one, the whole bit. Also, the Data Recovery Lab. For whatever reason, everyone's data is fine this last week. I think we got 1 data recovery job checked in last week, which normally we have about 3 a day. So to only have 1 in a week was like weird. Like we checked the Google ads to make sure they were still working, like everybody know we're still here, and did something materially change in our website rankings? What's going on? So, we're trying to figure that out, but it just turns out that people didn't need data recovery this week. But Schrock Innovations actually has Omaha's only fully equipped data recovery center. In fact, we added a new piece of equipment called a Deep Spar imager this last month. The Deep Spar imager, everyone says, Thor, really, you're going to charge me that much money to hook my hard drive up to your magical data recovery machine and press go? And I've always said, it's not like that. You do have to diagnose the drive. You have to have some base knowledge on how hard drives work. You have to understand what heads are, how many there are, where they're at, which ones are working inside the drive and which ones aren't, without opening the drive and inspecting them visually. Because if you do that, then if anybody else goes to look into the drive, the price for recovering doubles, and we don't want to hurt our customers, so we don't do that. And then we do have machines like imagers that we hook it up to. They're expensive machines, but they are machines that do a lot of work for us, which is great because to do it manually would cost a lot more than the machines cost. This new imager is as close to an automatic recovery, like basically a magical data recovery machine as you can get. It's as close as you can get. I have tried 2 drives on it so far, and it is 0 for 2. So that tells you there is no magical recovery machine, because the 2 drives that we happen to try, this new imager, what it can do is it can actually go in and change things inside the hard drive that a normal computer can't change. It's called the firmware, and it can go in there and fix it if it's broken. And it's cloud-based, so it gets, let me check the cloud for this. Okay, here it is, and we can fix it. The 2 drives I happened to test had bad heads, and those heads needed to be physically replaced. So as a result, we were not able to use our magic data recovery box that we paid an exorbitant amount of money for last month. But that's okay. We'll find a drive someday that it'll work for. But if your drive is the drive that needs the magical data recovery box, now you know that Schrock Innovations has one. 866-496-8772. I always talk about we never have calls at the start of the program. In fact, I give you guys grief about that. At the end of the show, with like 5 minutes to go, I've got like 5 phone calls to take. And it's like rapid fire Jeopardy all of a sudden. But instead, this morning, I've got 2 calls right out of the box. So let's go ahead and take those. Dale, welcome to the program. You're the first caller on the show. How can I help you on Compute This?
Yes, I was curious. I have a problem with my laptop. This past week, it's like the drive, I don't know, something's wrong with it, or something that says looking for a boot, and it won't boot up.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is usually a symptom of a hard drive that is in some kind of a failure state. It doesn't always mean that. I would say about 85% of the time when you get that message, that means that your hard drive is in a failure state, and that's why it's not booting. The other 15% of the time, it's something stupid easy, like you have a disk in your drive, or you have a thumb drive hooked up to the computer, or you have a printer connected to the computer that has an SD card or some kind of memory card in it. Those are all things that can mess up your booting. Now, the other thing is Windows sometimes just freaks out, and you lose the boot sector disappears, and you're like, what happened? And the hard drive's perfectly healthy. That does happen sometimes. It's a less expensive fix because obviously all the hardware is good, and we just need to actually fix the computer. But in this case, like I said, 85% chance that your hard drive is in some kind of a failure state.
I just replaced the hard drive in 2016 at your Papillion store.
Gotcha. So you'd have a 1-year warranty on the hard drive that was replaced in Papillion. So that would have gone from when you replaced it in 2016 to 2017. Now, is this computer a modular computer by any chance? Is it one of ours?
No, it's a Hewlett-Packard. I bought it right out of one of your local computer stores.
Okay, gotcha. So it's an HP from somewhere else. The reason I asked is I was going to talk about warranties on the show, and we'll get into that later in the program today. But if your hard drive, when you buy a part from Schrock, that part comes with a 1-year warranty. If we put that part into a computer and there's a warranty on the computer that goes longer than the year, then I can get it covered under warranty that way. So basically what we want to do is we need to get the computer into the service center so we can take a look at it and determine whether or not the hard drive is failing. Now, your HP computer, does it have, when you plug in the power in the back, does the power cord plug in kind of like a laptop power adapter, or is it a normal?
It is a laptop.
Oh, it is a laptop. Got it. Okay. So that changes a whole bunch of stuff, because with laptops, hard drive failure is much more common with laptops than it is with desktops, primarily because they get moved around. All that bouncing and jostling and moving can actually shorten the life of a hard drive significantly, which is one of the reasons why we have this special going on. It's kind of a never-ending special at Schrock, where you can have the hard drive, your old mechanical hard drive in your laptop or desktop replaced with a solid state, and we'll discount the labor if the drive is healthy. So if in your case the drive is probably not healthy, but if your drive is healthy and there's nothing wrong with it, it's a lot easier to clone a healthy hard drive than it is to make a copy of a hard drive that isn't working or not working properly. And so we don't charge as much labor to copy hard drives that work properly as we do for ones that are giving us a hard time. So the first thing is, you're familiar with our location, you know where we're at, except for the Papillion location in 2016 was in a different spot. We've moved. We're up on 84th and Highway 370 now. We're not on 72nd anymore. So basically, if you can get that into us, we can take a look at it and then see if the hard drive is in a failure state. And if by any chance, did you have our Drive Advisor product installed?
Yes.
Did you get an alert or anything like that?
Oh, a couple weeks ago, like a 99% capacity.
Gotcha. It wasn't a capacity alert. 99% was a health rating of your hard drive, and effectively, what that was telling you is that your hard drive had a heart attack, and you needed to back up your information right away to avoid data loss.
I have the cloud. Would that do it?
Well, it depends how you have it set up, but yeah, if you have it backing up to the cloud, you've got a backup. But that email, that Drive Advisor email, was Drive Advisor telling you that a hard drive failure is about to happen. So the fact that you got an email that told you your drive is at 99%, I don't even need you to bring it in now to tell you that the hard drive is physically bad. So unfortunately, the warranty on the drive is 1 year. So as is the case, for some stupid reason, life just does that, whether it's a washing machine or a car or whatever.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, it was 6 months out of warranty, and then boom. But here's the thing. If you were going to have it replaced this time, I would consider replacing it with a solid-state hard drive. The price
You already put one in last time.
Okay, so that was a solid-state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell you what. You bring that into us, and let me check the warranty with the manufacturer on the solid-state. The Schrock warranty is only good for a year. So there might be some labor charges involved, but if we can check with the manufacturer, and I can't guarantee this, but if we can check with the manufacturer and see, sometimes they put a 1 year warranty, and sometimes it's as much as a 3 year warranty on those drives. If we can if the warranty is long enough on the drive that I can get it replaced under warranty, we'll replace the drive under warranty with the manufacturer. It takes a little bit longer. It takes about 2 weeks to get it back, but we can replace it with the manufacturer and not have to charge you for the hard drive that way. That's definitely something we can try to do. On the other hand, solid state drives, they wear differently than regular hard drives do. But either way, we need to see the computer in the service center so that we can get the drive out. We need to see if we can get your information off of it. You have a cloud backup, so that's great. You may not need a backup. That would save you a little bit of money on that labor if we were just putting in a different drive and installing Windows to it, as opposed to trying to clone your drive over. It just depends on how bad it is, where it's bad, and then what we can do with the drive.
I'm trying to determine what store is closer to me, 72nd and Military.
You're at 72nd and Military?
Yeah.
So you're on the north side of town over there. It's going to I think that the Omaha Service Center would be a hair closer to you. It's at 168th and Burke, so it's just up Dodge Street at 168th. So okay. I would take a look at that one. They can also check your purchase records in Papillion, too, from there.
Well, thank you.
Hey, no sweat. I appreciate the call, Dale. I'm sorry for the bad luck there, but we'll get you into the service center and get you taken a look at it. And if there's a way we can get it fixed under warranty, we definitely will. We like warranties, and we try to fix things under warranty when we can. So we'll do our best to keep the cost down for you.
Okay. Well, you take care, and thank you very much.
You too, Dale. Thank you. All right, 866-496-8772. It's that easy. Got to take our first break on the program. Robert, hang on the line. Your call is coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute this pro tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Open drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock, and I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We fix computers, we build websites, custom online software. We do data recovery work when your hard drive fails, kind of like what happened to Dale there. We can get the data back from drives like that when that happens if we need to. He had a backup, which is perfect, but if you don't, we can get it back. We also do on-site work as well. One of the things that very few people take advantage of is, for some reason, especially in Omaha. In Lincoln, we have on-sites almost every single day. But in the Omaha metro area, for some reason, people just don't have us come on-site to do their work. But did you know that we will come to you? Now, the difference, there are some things like maintenance checkups, for example, that are better done in the service center because they take longer. So when you have us come on-site, you're paying an hourly rate for the technician's labor by the clock hour. So for every hour they're on site or fraction thereof, you pay an hour of labor. On the other hand, in the service center, we kind of have a guide that says, if we're going to do this, like with Dale's stuff, if we're going to replace his hard drive, it's going to be, if he wants, it's 1 hour of labor to get the drive out and in, the new drive in, and then another hour of labor to attempt to clone the drive if he wants to have the clone done. So that clone could take a whole day, but it's running on a machine automatically, so we don't charge you like 17 hours for it. The book says we charge 2 hours of labor. That's what we charge. So it's a little bit different on site, but some problems are better solved on site. For example, issues with your network when you can't get your printer to print, for example, on your wireless network. We can't fix that in the shop, and it's very hard to fix that on the Schrock desk because we have to sometimes reboot your network, which turns off your internet. When we're connected through the internet, that's a problem. So, we're disconnecting ourselves over and over and over again. So the on-site service is a great solution, especially for businesses too. Don't hesitate to use that if you guys need it. 866-496-8772. A little news wrap up here. The news roundup. We need like a sounder, like dum-de-dum-de-dum, the news roundup. All right, so the news roundup, there's some stories that we've covered in the past that we have a little bit of an update on today. So, for example, the Equifax hack. Remember this one? Where Equifax, the credit reporting company that everybody knows and loves, lost a few people's information, So we thought it was 143 million customers in the United States, roughly a third of the U.S. population or so, what's that? Come on, it's no big deal. It's just social security numbers, incomes, addresses, names, birth dates, pretty much anything you would need to steal someone's identity. But, I'm sure we'll notice that. We'll give you free credit monitoring. Wait a minute. You can't monitor your own network. How are you going to monitor my credit in your network? Anyway, well, it turns out that they went back and recounted, and very Florida 2000-ish here with hanging chads and whatnot. They found another 2.5 million Americans that were impacted that previously were not known to have been impacted. So hopefully you did not win the Equifax lottery. And I was impacted in the initial release. I found they give you a search tool you could check. And the funny part was the bad guys online, the identity thieves, actually put up a tool to allow you to check to see if you were breached in the Equifax thing. You had to put in your name and your address and your date of birth and your social security number, and you hit search, and it would tell you whether or not you were impacted in the Equifax breach. Never put that information into a form that you find on the internet, guys, because you just gave the bad guy your name, your address, your date of birth, and your social security number, or everything he needs to steal your identity and file your taxes and get your return. All right. So that's bad. Also, we talked just last week, about how all these other countries in the world have 5G internet, and it's amazingly fast. Why can't we have 5G internet? And then, the Trump administration came out and said maybe the government should build a 5G network. And all the cell phone companies were like, whoa, hombre, hey, we own these networks, and yeah, we'll build one. But then what happened is they said, but the reason you can't get the network is because the government slows us down. It's too hard to do. And then it kind of went away in the news. It faded away. Well, here's another story, I'm sure completely unconnected. U.S. Congress readies bill to advance 5G networks. The House of Representatives will vote Tuesday on a bill that works on identifying more spectrum for private sector use, as well as reducing the red tape associated with building wireless networks. So in other words, the federal government is trying, in their own way, to get out of the way and get us all faster internet. 866-496-8772. Let's go back into those phones. Robert, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Yeah, good morning, Thor.
Morning.
This is Schrock Desk Assistance question.
Okay.
I replaced my old desktop, HP desktop, back in November with one of your Boundless.
Yes.
And it came with a 90-day Schrock help desk.
Correct.
And I used it to get started, and your guys were super. Kyle, Robert, Gabriel, all of them all. Anyway, there's two issues left that I didn't get to before it ran out last week.
Okay.
And I think I can probably pay your $100 a hour, but the second one, the first one was for remote printing. That can be handled easily. The second one's with our local internet plan, the Cox people.
Yes.
I have had problems with the old machine on editing emails, like composing and backspacing and replying. And I asked them to fix it and get help. Last 6 months, I haven't gotten any answers out of the Calcutta office. Anyway, the new one's doing the same thing, sure.
Okay. So now when you're using the email, are you using the webmail? Like, are you going to a website like Cox.com and then clicking on email? Or are you using a program on the computer that you open specifically to look at your email?
Yeah, I'm using Chrome to open it.
Okay, so you're using Chrome to open it. So that's webmail. You're going to Cox.com, you're clicking on email, or you're logging in to their webmail service. So if there's a problem with the webmail service, there's not a whole heck of a lot we can do about it, because that's a website. That's not a local program on your computer. I would encourage you to use a local program on your computer to check your email. The webmail is great if you need to access things temporarily on another computer, or you're on vacation and you're trying to do stuff like that. But the webmail does not work well when it's used in conjunction with phones and tablets and computers and things like that. And your computer came with a mail program already built into it. The mail app is built right into it, and you can use that to check the mail just fine, and that's something we can support. So here's the thing. Now, first of all, don't pay the $100 or $110 to bring it in and have us set up your email for you, because the Schrock Desk is $30 a month. So given the choice, I would drop another $30 and have the Schrock Desk for another month.
Oh, really? There's no minimum or maximum?
Oh, no, not at all. That's the best thing about the Schrock Desk. It's $30 a month for unlimited support. So we give it to you free for 3 months when you buy a new Schrock modular computer. And the reason we do that, just like what you experienced, when you get a new computer, sometimes there's a little bit of fixing that has to happen to get everything up and running the way you want it to be running. So you got to go through and you got to get your printer set up, and you got to get your email set up, and you got to all these things. And if we did a data transfer, you got to get some programs installed. That's what the Schrock Desk is for. It's not just for broken computers. We've had customers call us and ask us, literally a lady bought a new Label Maker 7 program, or label maker. She had a label maker. She had an old one from like the XP era. She finally replaced it with the new one, but she had made all of her labels in this old program, and their new software was so different you couldn't import the labels. So we got on the phone with the label company. She had the Schrock Desk. We got on the phone with the label company. We fixed the problem. We got the labels manually exported and imported into the new program. So it's not just for broken stuff.
Okay,
it's also
good.
for situations like what you're experiencing. Now, one of the other benefits that very few people know about, and don't tell a lot of people about this, Robert, okay? We want to keep this between the two of us.
Okay.
When you have the Schrock Desk, all labor services at Schrock are half price.
Oh, okay.
So that means you can get half-price maintenance checkups anytime you want. You don't have to wait for the sale. Lots of people are asking when the next special is. It's going to be sometime this spring, but you don't have to wait for it and then come in with the throngs of people. You can do it anytime you want. The only exceptions to this are data recovery services and on-site services, because on-site services are clock hours of labor where it's dedicated time with a technician. But yeah, if you ever have a problem, you have to bring it in for something, half off any services with the Schrock Desk. So the Schrock Desk literally pays for itself within a year. I don't know why more people don't have it. We have about 2,000 customers on the Schrock Desk.
How do I get set up on that for?
Well, it's super easy. You can go to our website at SchrockInnovations.com and sign up. Now, the other thing is you had the Schrock Desk on your new modular computer. Did you call and cancel it?
No, it's got an icon, but I have to call the actual center and get a code.
That's true. Yes, you do have to call us to get a code so we can get connected. But here's the thing. When you sign up for the Schrock Desk, the free 90-day trial, we gave you a piece of paper that had a date on it and said, if you don't call us by this date and cancel it, we're going to assume you want to keep it. So that means, Robert, you have the Schrock Desk.
Okay.
You're a subscriber already. Use away.
Okay, so I should get talk to Robert or whoever and get this Cox email thing solved, okay?
Heck yeah, we're open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 8 and Sunday from noon to 5. Give them a call. They'll help you out.
All right. Thor, you're a champ.
Thank you, Robert. Have a great day. Thanks for your call. 866-496-8772. I'm way late for a hard break, but that's a hard break. So what's that between friends? We're going to take that here real quick, and then we'll be back with more coming up on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all. So we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The president and the press were laughing it up at the annual Gridiron dinner Saturday night.
It was a night for the president to take a few jabs at himself and the press, joking it had been another calm week. And it was the most fun he'd had with the media since seeing their faces on election night. The president also got some laughs for poking fun at recent departures in his administration, saying, "I like chaos. It really is good. Who's going to be the next to leave? Steve Miller or Melania?"
Fox's Lauren Blanchard. Now that a weekend nor'easter's finally dissipated, a winter storm is headed for the northern plains.
Much of South Dakota and across parts of southwestern North Dakota as well. And anywhere from about the north of Norfolk, Nebraska, that's where we've got blizzard warnings going on. So it's going to be very windy with that snow tonight into tomorrow. Get ready for that.
Fox meteorologist Rick Reichmuth, Fox News. We report, you decide.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Clouds are on the increase this morning leading into the afternoon. Temperatures, though, will be fairly mild. We'll make it up to 58 degrees, and those winds out of the southeast could gust upwards of 40 miles per hour at times. Showers return for us in the evening hours and will linger into tonight. We'll hear a few rumbles of thunder as well leading into tomorrow morning. Monday highs in the mid-40s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, halftime show is over, folks, and we're back. Welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about Schrock Innovations is that we also work on Macs, Apple products. Not only the Mac computers, but we also a lot of our data recoveries are our liquid drop iPhones, things like that too. So we do work on that stuff. So for those of you who are Mac fans out there, and I do have Mac fans on the show, they think that I don't like Mac. I have a Mac in every one of my service centers, guys, because you need them to fix Macs, or do data recovery on Macs. It's kind of required. And so as a result, I'm kind of required to use them. And as a result, I'm kind of required to know how to use them. Now, I will freely admit that I have an Android phone, and I very rarely pick up an iPhone for my casual use. So there is a moment, the old brain ain't flying as fast as it used to. There's a momentary mental adjustment when I pick up an iPhone and I look at it, and I initially just try to swipe across the screen to unlock it, and it doesn't do anything. So I swipe it again, and my wife looks at me, and she's like, "What are you trying to do? Is there something on the screen? You just keep wiping it." I'm like, "No, I'm swiping." "No, you have to hit the home button to open it." "Oh, yeah, that's right." But my daughter, thankfully, 5-year-old, bless her heart, is keeping me on the top of my game. I had a great interaction with the Apple Store, which is one of the reasons why a lot of Apple customers prefer to bring their computers to Schrock instead. So my daughter is 5 years old. She's special needs, but she has an iPod because, we don't want to give her a phone. She's 5. Come on now. I'm a tech guy, but, she's 5. Who's she going to call? Mom, maybe she's right there. But she has an iPod. And she can, watch her show she likes. Coco right now is the movie she's into. And she loves to listen to music from the movie Moana. She'll, do that on her iPod. And we bought an iPod. Now, for a 5-year-old, I'm not going to dish out, the full retail price for an iPod. So Apple has a refurbished page on their website. And so I grabbed a refurbished iPod for her because I know she's just going to beat the snot out of this thing. So we get the refurbished iPod. It comes in, works great for like 2 weeks, just long enough for her to get completely addicted to it. And then it straight died. Like, ooh, no power, dead. Now I'm looking at it and it's a bad battery. I can fix it. We do this at Schrock all the time in the data recovery lab. I can open it. I can put a new battery in it. Good to go, right as rain. Don't even have to solder anything. But I just bought it 2 weeks ago, right? I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to pay more money to fix a product that was defective, even though it was a refurb. I get it. So at Apple, you can't just walk into Apple and get service. You have to make an appointment to talk with one of their geniuses where you sit on a wooden box. Inside the wooden box, there's a $1,000 Ferrari leather ball. No joke. $1,000 ball. You can't sit on the ball. But it's in a box, you see. You sit on the box. And the box has little grooves on the top that's, supposed to make the wood more comfortable for human butts. But you sit on the box, the wooden box, and you wait patiently for your help. So I go online with my wife, and the lovely Kimberly is assisting me because she is the resident Apple expert of our household. And we set our appointment up for a week from that day. That was the first available appointment. So my daughter could you imagine going without your phone for a week if it was your phone that was jacked up? So my daughter, we have an iPad, so we gave her the iPad. She was fine for a week. So my appointment day comes, and I'm driving over to the Apple store at Village Point, and traffic is terrible. And my appointment's at 12:15, and I know if I'm a minute late, they're going to close my appointment time, and I'll have to wait another week, right? So I'm driving, and when I left the house, I wasn't really thinking. I threw my cowboy boots on, whatever. I'm going out. And of course, I get to Village Point, and the mall is just a madhouse because it's Saturday afternoon at Village Point. So I have to park like clear across the parking lot, and it's like 3 minutes to my appointment. So here is Thor Schrock running down the street at Village Point Mall like I stole something, in cowboy boots, and clack, 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 running like a weirdo because, you can't bend your ankles quite right. They're not exactly athletic boots, okay? And I get to the Apple store, and I get in there, and I'm literally on time for my appointment. And all right, yeah, Thor Schrock, appointment at 12:15. Yeah, I made it. And he says, okay, have a seat over there in the cubes. It's not a box, it's a cube. And cubes have the sides on every side. This is empty on two sides, so they can put the $1,000 ball in there. So it's not technically a cube, it's a box, but okay. Sit on the box and wait for your guy to help you up. I sit on the box for 15 minutes, and I'm just sitting there thinking the whole time, I didn't have to run. And they were really cool. Once you get someone to help you in the Apple store, the service is fantastic. They literally replaced the iPod, not with another refurb, with a brand new one, and sent me on my way. I was in and out. Once I got helped, I was in and out in about 5 minutes. But the entire process took an hour and a half, including box sit time. So it's pretty crazy. So for those of you who are Apple users, this is the March 2018 edition of Apple products you should not buy right now. This is stuff you should not buy for various reasons. Number one, AirPods. Those are the wireless Apple headphones. Don't buy the AirPods because because Apple is offering something for sale doesn't mean that it's a good idea to buy it. So the AirPods, there's a rumor that there's going to be some updated AirPods soon. So they're saying don't buy the AirPods. This is from ZDNet. They're saying don't buy the AirPods because there's going to be a better one coming soon. All right, the next thing is the iPhone SE. This is the super duper cheap iPhone. You get these at like Walmart, Costco, things like that. It's the really inexpensive one. If I was going to get my 5-year-old daughter an iPhone, this is the iPhone I would buy her. They got a storage bump. The underlying hardware is the same as the original iPhone that was released in 2016, which doesn't sound that long ago. But trust me, guys, the processors have gotten a lot better in 2 years. So you want to stay away from the iPhone SE. You're much better off buying like an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 7 if you're going to buy an older iPhone. All right, Apple products you shouldn't buy. The iPad. Now is not the time to go out and buy an iPad. With the almost a year gone since the last update, the iPad is getting a little long in the tooth, and an updated version is likely to land in the next few weeks. So if you buy one now, if you would wait a few more weeks, you can get a better one for the same price usually. The iPod Touch. Now, this is what my daughter has, the iPod Touch. Now, the iPod Touch is a little tricky because it was last updated in 2015, right? And I'm not entirely sure they're going to do another iPod Touch because it's basically an iPhone without the phone. It's got all the rest. It's got the cameras and everything with it. And she gets a good thrill out of it because you can FaceTime on an iPod Touch. So now she can FaceTime with my wife and her cousin and my son, and she thinks that's really cool. Like, how did my son get into her phone? That's pretty neat. So the iPod Touch is tricky. It's inexpensive. They just lowered the price, which is why I got one for my daughter, and it's refurb too, so you can save even more money there. So if you're going to buy it cheap, that's cool. I wouldn't pay full retail for it. The next one is the MacBook Air. One of Apple's thinnest and lightest laptops is now neither of these things. It's not the thinnest or the lightest. Because it was, the last updated in March of 2015. Okay, the last technical update for this computer was 2015, guys. Schrock Innovations has changed processors in our modular computers twice since 2015. That's a lot of updating that's happened since 2015. Apple should just stop making it, honestly. It's not any real thinner or lighter than a MacBook anymore. This one surprised me. The one thing that you really, really, really shouldn't buy from Apple, and everyone who owns an iPhone or an iPad is going to agree 100% with this, the Lightning cable. don't buy a replacement cable from Apple because the cables are junk. They break. The ends get all worn and the rubber cracks open and the wires are exposed. You can get a nice cloth braided cable. It'll last you so much longer, so much more reliable, and they're cheaper. On top of that, you can get them on Amazon for like nothing. So the Lightning cable, that one kind of surprised me a little bit. Now this one's funny. Let me tell you about the Apple Time Capsule. Yeah, they make a time capsule. It's a backup hard drive to back up your Mac using Time Machine. Get it? Time Machine, Time Capsule. Yeah. It's an external hard drive, guys, that you're paying a ridiculous amount of money for because it's stamped with an Apple logo. The next thing, the Apple Airport. The Airport is a wireless router. That's it. Nothing special. It's a wireless router with an Apple logo on it, so you pay double. Now, if that's not enough to dissuade you from purchasing these items, Apple's actually disbanded the groups responsible for these products. They fired all the people that make these and support them, so they're probably not going to make them anymore. So I wouldn't buy one. Yeah, that's an easy one. Along with other things that are no longer supported is the Mac Mini. You shouldn't buy the Mac Minis anymore. The Mac Mini last saw a refresh in 2014, getting a little long in the tooth there. 866-496-8772. Don, you're the next caller of the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yeah, Thor, I talked to you last week. I'm the fellow that had the Yahoo that kept coming up on my computer rather than Google.
Yes.
And you gave me instructions, and I tried all week to figure that out and follow your instructions, but I wasn't successful.
Okay.
So yesterday I called your office at Village Point, and I talked to Gabriel, and he was very patient. And after a number of tries, we got rid of the Yahoo. And I can't say enough for him. He was very patient and super professional.
Awesome. This is like, Don, thank you for the call. I really appreciate this because this is like battle of the new guys. We have 3 employees who are under a month in the Omaha locations of Schrock right now. Gabriel is one of them. And now Gabriel stands at 2 radio show customer compliments. The others have only gotten 1.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good, very patient.
Well,
very
awesome.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much for the call, Don. I appreciate you taking the time to let me know. You know, one of the things that we do at Schrock is we train our employees, if you can solve a customer's problem in 2 minutes or less, just solve the problem. Just solve the problem. Don't worry about opening a work order. Don't ask them if they're a Schrock Desk subscriber. Just solve the problem. Now, I'm not saying do a free Schrock Desk to solve the problem. 2 minutes or less on the phone, solve the problem, good to go. And that way, like what happened with Don here, is now he knows that when he has a real problem, he's got someone that he can trust in Gabriel that he can call to help him solve his problem. And if it requires an hour of labor, Gabe's going to try to do it without spending the hour. But if he needs the hour, he'll tell Don, I need the hour of labor to fix this one. And Don's going to know he's shooting him straight. And that level of trust is something that most computer repair shops don't have. Most repair shops in general don't have. Who has that level of trust with a mechanic, like an auto mechanic? Do you trust your auto mechanic? How about your HVAC guy? Yeah, you trust the air conditioner guy? Come on now. So, I mean, but it's hard to build that level of trust, and we strive to do it, which is one of the reasons why when the show is over today, we're going to be doing an aftershock. I'm going to open another, since this broadcast will end at the hour, I'm going to open up another Facebook Live to do an aftershock. It's just like some extra stuff at the end of the show. And I'm going to tell you the links that we go to to make some customers happy that are just mind-blowingly crazy. 866-496-8772. Thanks for the call there, Don. We're going to take our final break of the program, but when we come back, I want you to stick with me through this break, because when we come back, if you have one of our modular computers, this is a way that you could save hundreds of dollars. It is not a joke. It's not a gimmick. It's not a cheap trick for me to keep you listening through the commercial break. It is a way that you could save hundreds of dollars on your computing technology, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, if you haven't put that together yet. 3 service centers, Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion. If you're looking for a new computer, you want to support a local company that employs local people right here in your town, Schrock Innovations is the place to go. Not only that, but our computers are competitive, they're fast, and we're updating our lineup. So if you come into the service center and the computers are a little sparse on the shelf, it's because we are updating our lineup. One of the things I'm going to tell you about, first of all, this is a segment about saving money. In the Omaha Service Center, we have one computer that was a floor model. It's an i3 laptop. It was last year's Intrepid model. And so basically we're clearing these out a little bit. We don't need 3 of them for parts. I mean, we can stick with 1 or 2. So we've got one available. It's $399, which is almost half price of what the Intrepid usually costs. But it's not on the website yet. We're going to get it up on Monday when the web team gets back in there in Omaha. But if we're looking for a new laptop, we have one of them. If you were going to pick that up at the service center, I would give us a call and make sure we still have it before you make a trip out. If you're in Lincoln or Papillion, we can transfer it to those service centers for you, so it's not a big deal. But there's one there. It's a 500 gig hard drive, 4 gigs of RAM, Windows 10. It's got a DVD drive. All the new laptops are not going to have DVD drives built in anymore. You have to get a USB one if you want a DVD drive now. But they're adding other cool features like Thunderbolt. I'm going to tell you a good story about Thunderbolt. I forgot my laptop power cord in the studio all week long, and I was able to charge my laptop with a phone charger because it has the same charging port as the USB-C port. They're awesome. So anyway, long story short, stay tuned for the Aftershock coming up here after the program. Now, I promised you in this segment that I was going to tell you how you could save hundreds of dollars on your technology if you already have a Schrock modular computer. So this is not a segment on you should buy a Schrock modular computer and save hundreds of dollars. It's not like a Geico thing, you know. You could save hundreds of dollars on your technology by simply purchasing from Schrock. Nothing like that. If you already have a Schrock computer, you got a 1-year warranty on that computer when you first bought it. It's the manufacturer warranty that came with the computer. You had the opportunity to extend that warranty when you purchased the computer. Some of you did, and some of you didn't. Those of you who did, you made the right choice. Those of you who didn't, there are some people in the world, when they hear the words extended warranty, they immediately, it's like the bank vault door closing. spin the wheel, cling, nothing's coming out of this vault because I don't do extended warranties. If you're that person, I totally respect that. That's why we didn't push it hard. Like if you said no, we didn't like browbeat you about it. You said no, that's fine. It's your choice. Our job is to give you choices. And if you make the wrong choice, that's on you. I mean, you can't say we didn't warn you. At Schrock, with a warranty, we don't offer extended warranties because our stuff is junk. We offer extended warranties because our job is to deliver award-winning service. Service, the stuff like what Gabriel's doing, what Robert's doing, what Kyle and Craig and Tyler are doing. Our job is to deliver service. Now, sometimes in the delivery of service, we have to also deliver hardware. So when we sell a computer to you, we're not selling you a computer. We're selling you the service behind the computer. That's hard for some people. Literally, I had a person on the phone ask me how we possibly make money on extended warranties. Because if we sell you an extended warranty and you purchase that, if you use it, there is hardly any part in a computer you can replace for less than $100. So when you use your extended warranty, you're saving as much as $100 on a repair of your computer. If you don't use your extended warranty that you purchased, we give you your money back at the end of the year. So let me walk you through this. You buy a new computer at Schrock. We ask you, do you want the extended warranty? And you say yes. So you pay $100 extra to get an additional year of warranty. Now you have 2 years of warranty total. At the end of 2 years, if you have not had any warranty claims, you get a robocall from me that says, hey, we might owe you money. Call us back. And when you call back, we check your warranty status and say, no, you haven't had any warranty claims. We issue you a refund for $125 or $100, based whatever you paid for the warranty. And then you can use that money, that refund, that gift card, to buy another warranty. You can flip the warranties. You keep getting another one over and over and over. Why on earth would we do that? Why? I thought this was like a gambling game where you're betting that we're going to give you money. You're buying peace of mind. You're preying on our fear. How, whatever the game is, how can you possibly make money of this? Here's the thing, guys. Once you're a Schrock customer, my only objective is to keep you a Schrock customer for life. That's all I want. And if I can do that by giving you a warranty so that it's free to get your computer fixed when you come in, that's a win for you. I think you'd agree. That's a win for me. You're in my service center. You're still my customer. I love you. I want to keep you. There you go. So that's how the extended warranties work, guys. So if you have a modular computer right now, check your warranty because you might be able to extend it and save some money. I need to draw a winner. $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate goes to Dale. Congratulations, Dale. You got yourself a $25 Schrock gift certificate. And we will see you here again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This. Stay tuned. New Facebook Live coming up for the Aftershock.
Nebraska's news, weather, and traffic station. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB Omaha, an iHeart radio station. On demand at KFAB.com.
Poking fun at the press and himself. I'm Pam Puso, Fox News. That's how President Trump spent last night during the annual Gridiron Dinner. The president telling the Washington Press Corps it was the most fun he had had